ExtraHuman is the game where you play as a fishman with a stick smacking around giant mutant fish. That is my dream game, and that is what I'll use to give people the fuel to follow their own dreams. We're in the demo arc of ExtraHuman's creation with the basic movement, combat, basic enemy attacking nearly done. So let's finish this thing. Oh, and it's me B-Day a few days ago anyway. So this episode, I want to finish the elemental attacks for the baby so I can copy and paste and slap the thing on to work straight away on the beast and a massive giant thing over there called a Biggin, canonical name. Then I'll need to get the Shwarm working together and fighting all at the same time. After that, well, you'll see. But more demo prep. So, I was going to put a rigid body, the thing that gives physics, onto the attack itself, since I finished modeling it last episode. Haha. But when I went to save it through the prefab that will be spawned, it basically deleted itself. So I tried adding a rigid body through script, and then I could add force to it. So then I can send its teeth forth like a chattertoy and just nom. While it's sitting here, it will go slowly and then it will go nom. Doesn't have a rigid body. So after some research and of course some trial and error, I just kept the objects prefab and created a new version of it with the components I wanted, and then I can just spawn that. So the base prefab will have the model and import settings I want. When then I spawn the thing, I will have all the pieces I need from the other prefab. Then, problem. I wanted to be taking it off of the enemy's transform and giving a collider for the rigid of the body, and then an hour or two later that did the thing, but other than being able to bump into it, there was no real change. And it's time for bed. So tomorrow I want momentum and damage. Boo! It's tomorrow as of scripting anyway. So there's no force being applied up it to 500. I'm gonna do a debug log to see if it's actually triggering. And it is. Maybe it's getting stuck on the fish? Okay, I love sanity checks. We know everything's running because of the debug, but if I go to destroy instead, it does nothing. But that's okay. Obviously it is slow, but you know what? That's fine, because look at it, it's good. Let's just go straight to the animation, and then I'm gonna give the rock a normal map to spice up the look. Yo, that's it. We have an enemy to fight. Now to normal things out. Oh, right. Next thing is the other attacks. 20 minutes before bed, I'm gonna start Scratch from a Pokemon attack. Oh, I'm gonna need particles for everything later. Later. And a little footnote here, I completely forgot about that, but that will be some polished stuff. Anyway, I want the claw to have wide nails, so when it does do the animation, it will kind of look like that Pokemon attack. So claw! Okay, that's it. And where was I? Edit the front, then rock claw, looking good. So it's not following the paw. A few hours later, it turned out the prefab was actually spawning in the nether region. I thought it was just not spawning at all. Sanity checks are very useful. Okay, never mind. It actually isn't spawning. Help. I had a look at the Bing AI thing because that's actually helpful now. Turns out I was just overcomplicating it. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't swap parents when it is time to go to the other paw. I thought I set that up earlier, but oh well, that's now. Idea why don't I just copy the cat scratch animation and put it onto the rock so it will just think. So I did the movement and thought the rotation wasn't needed because of the parent spawning, but I needed to do that anyway because that didn't work here. But alright, it's a little jank. But right there, we have all the vital behaviors for the baby cat shark. Finished! So, I immediately gave the attacks a danger tag and enabled the damage again. After, of course, putting in, a plastic commit to cover my ass. Oh, and I need a rock timeout. Yeah. Because the game will crash after a while if nothing is deleted. Because the whole game will just be flooded with bites. Also, Reef is invincible now. Don't question it. He's just a beast in himself. Also, no timers because they are stubborn. If the ball for missing attack triggers, then I say destroy. Okay, 5 minutes to bed. 4. Even when I say to destroy right after spawning, it still doesn't get destroyed. I don't know. Night night. Why is it not doing the thing? Wow, I'm tired. I'm not getting anything done after 2 hours. So after seeing how much of a difference being awake makes, it's time to chill. So now it is Thursday, and I've got an idea while chilling to do a raycast if the spawned object called clone is available, and it doesn't hit it. Good news is that the sanity check to destroy if it's in that range works. Bad news is it doesn't destroy outside of the range, which is the whole point of the raycast. Could do a timer again, but using the quarantine will stop the current method, so it will just be waiting, but it needs to run on parallel because I don't want a separate script just to wait. Ding! Just do the same timer I've been using the whole time. That'll work. And it's stuck at 0.02 again. So I put it in the update function for every frame rendered. That's when it will go. It's still locked at 0.02. Oh! I said equals time instead of plus equals. It needs to add time to the counter, not be time itself. That's why it wasn't working. And now distraction. Woohoo! Okay. It's deleting the most recent instance. I want to delete all the things. That way, it's not running 20 different timers at once for every single enemy when it is swarming. So, I ended up using an array, basically a list, to put all the clone objects together, and then I can just loop through and delete every one of them instead of searching through the entire project to find all the objects with a certain name every single time. But it turns out I can't add objects to an array because arrays are lists with preset length. So we use a basic list now. Well, it removes, but it doesn't delete. So let's just no. Okay, the destroy ton isn't working, or the for each loop isn't returning a valid game object to be deleted. Anyway, I jumped around different strats, but the destruction bit isn't still getting the right object to destroy the ton. But it's time to bed. So, I found one thing where if I make the enemy itself self-destruct, that was an accident, and I figured it out. I really want to do a time-lapse of this, but I'm saving that for the kickflip, so watch out for that. But 2 hours later, I've been adding the prefab object to the list and trying to delete it instead of deleting the game object in the game. So of course it didn't work. Also, I did a sanity check by straight up deleting the object by name, but it didn't actually work because the object has a clone appended to the end as well. So once I added that, it did actually delete. And then I just added the game object to the same list, and it works. I'm not doing reference images because that would make the video take an extra hour to edit, and I'm already behind schedule. Now I can use the same logic to delete the cloned objects in the list during the game. That's wait, duper eating. Woohoo! And guess what's next? The big boys. There is a foresee a problem because the biggin, go watch our videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't have the proper collision, but I want it to be climbable, and using dynamic auto colliders only works on static non-moving meshes. So if you want to get into an actual attack range without bumping 20 meters outside of his leg, I need better collision. Also, the last time I did a swarm, it went nuts because the script works mostly independently of the parent right now. But what I want it to be is like Dryden's Lighthoof enemies that run logic every so often, so not every single frame, and that will do some optimization because I'm going to have tens to hundreds of enemies on screen. The logic can work kinda together through a parent script, essentially telling each piece what to do from a host. But let's just chuck the bigot into the swarm and see what happens. I mean, there's no point countering problems that don't exist. I think I just figured out how to do the parent thing though. I can use for loops and lists, the same as what I just did for deletion. Booyah! The biggin just wants to sleep, so fine, swarm time. Well, that's chaos. I want to limit the distance that one thing can be from a swarm, so then, you know, it's not going to go wee. Then I can up the drag for a second, just a second, while it's chasing you, so it's more precise and doesn't take as long to come back. Then you get the rock spawning from every individual enemy instead of all the rocks being spawned at one enemy's location. Oh, the mouth and some other things were assigned by the parent script, which will make all the enemies act together, but each actually needs to be controlled separately through the parent, which apparently I didn't do. So rewriting all those dependencies, I got nothing. Time for lunch and workout though, which reminds me I gotta skate more. Skate sessions have gotten much more rare with everything going on, and since this game is a much higher priority, but I shall kick video very soon. Alright, it is 12:20 Saturday night, Sunday morning when writing, and the next day was open. So until I started collapsing, I work. Let's go. So I deleted all but 2 of the babies, changed the origin points spawn positions, and fix. It works when I do it manually. I need to dupe that through the script though. 12:56. I couldn't get it to find the correct object in the child's, so I just assigned it manually and duplicated those, and it works. So now for the health for both thingies, it's 130. I got nothing, but I did before, so like a very old video. So let's go get plastics to save my ass. I couldn't find anything from that going back in time, so new idea. I can recreate the entire health system. It's not that big of a thing, so it should be fine. Just do it. But it's 1:41 and I am getting tired. But I'm gonna keep on going till at least 2. But for now, I will be waiting for plastic to load. And it's 2. Okay, it's time for bed, but I don't know what to do next. But yeah, Sunday became relaxed because, like I said, I work better when I'm actually awake. So that's the end of the video. I kinda had to do stuff on Monday, so the video was a bit late. But that was very nice and long and very much progress. Woohoo! Now, time to edit. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.